Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday. And on the menu for this Saturday, we have Gate of Thunder, Hudson Soft and Red Entertainment's 1992 classic for the PC Engine Super CD. What kind of taste does it have? Let's get cooking and find out. As we dive right in, we find ourselves in control of the Starfighter Hunting Dog on a mission to defeat the evil General Don Jingi as he tries to steal the planet Ares' energy source, Starlight. Apparently powerful enough that he could even destroy the whole universe with it if used incorrectly. So guys like that can't be allowed to do what they want. So as a space police force pilot, we're here to go and stop him. Standard shoot 'em up fare story-wise. So, as we go and actually jump into the game itself, we go and find ourselves in control of a fairly straightforward side-scrolling shoot 'em up. The mechanics are pretty basic. We do go and have the ability to control our speed. 3 possible settings: slow, medium, and fast. Medium is definitely my pace for this game, so I'll stick with that. And as you've seen, I've gone and picked up a few power-ups already. So the first one we went and came across went and gave us chaser missiles that go and home in on the enemy. The second time we picked up a power-up, it went and gave us our options. It doesn't matter which one of the 3 colored power-ups you go and get, the blue, the green, or the red. If you don't have the options yet, first thing you'll receive are the options. After that, you'll start going and getting different weapons. We do always start with the default laser beam on level 1, but it's possible to go and level that one up if we happen to get a second blue orb. After getting the options, of course. The green is an awesome penetrating wave. It's a wide-hitting weapon, but unfortunately, it doesn't go and deal a whole lot of damage. And the red is our earthquake. Basically, bombs that we were going and firing 3 ways, up, down, and straight forward. So if you're looking to go and deal some heavy damage, this one would be the way to go and do it. In addition to the missiles and the weapons, we can also go and pick up shields as well. The shields are able to take 3 hits of damage, going from green at 3 hits still, to blue, to red, and of course, at that point, we're gone. Another neat feature is we do have the ability to go and turn our options by double tapping our fire button. As the game does like to go and throw you a lot of enemies from behind, it's not bad to be able to go and do that. Just a quick heads up, the ship that's going and coming by and dropping all the power-ups that we've been going and picking does actually have a name. Well, actually I'm sure most shoot 'em ups it has a name. But the supply ship in this one is particularly called the Wild Cat. A decent match to the Hunting Dog, I'd say. So we're nearly done with the first stage of Gate of Thunder. And I just want to go and say, I love some of the attention to detail on this game. The backgrounds, the parallax scrolling are beautiful. A really great example of a fine shoot 'em up from the early 90s era. Here we are at the first boss. Fairly straightforward. Although I'm probably not using the best weapon for him. This might be a little bit better. So as we deal damage to the boss, it goes and turns a darker shade of red. I liken it to going and cooking the boss like a lobster. The more damage we go and do to him, the redder he gets. So with stage 1 under our belt, we find ourselves in stage 2, Asteroid. So the actual manual of the game goes and gives more detailed stage names, but in the game itself, they're just one-word names. Like in this case, Asteroid, the one after it's Mine, the one after that's simply Base. So it gets the job done, but seems a little lazy. And once again, we get to go and see that awesome parallax scrolling that this game went and had. truly a marquee title for the TurboGrafx-16 CD. Note about this title, it was actually a pack-in for the Turbo Duo when it was released in North America, along with Bonk and Bonk's Revenge and Bomberman on the 4-in-1 disc that came with the system. That right there would go and be a great reason to go and pick up a console in my mind. And if you're a shoot-'em-up fan, there were actually a lot of great shoot-'em-ups that came out for the system. So another quick feature that you might have gone and noticed, but I haven't mentioned yet, when you're full on your power-ups, if you happen to go and pick up another pickup for that particular weapon or missile, it goes and releases an awesome energy blast that goes and scrolls from the front of the stage, or from the back to the front, going and killing the enemies, or at least dealing heavy damage to them. Another neat feature of this game is you have some interaction in between the foreground and the background. So the TurboGrafx wasn't necessarily capable of this kind of scrolling, but you know, through some good programming and design, they were able to go and pull it off. And a great effect. The walls popping out of the background to destroy you. A nice touch. Another thing that I personally love about this title are the ship and the mech designs. Not necessarily these green little guys here, as they just look akin to bugs, but some of the mech enemies that we've gone and seen, and some of the other fighters are just awesome and go and feel so inspired and, well, Japanese-esque anime sci-fi. I love that. The backgrounds as well, at least at a stage like this, kind of invoke really nice space colony vibe also. So another thing that's notable about Gate of Thunder is it is technically the spiritual prequel. I guess by calling it a prequel is not correct. It goes and has a spiritual sequel that's definitely more well known than it itself. And that spiritual sequel is Lords of Thunder. Although Lords of Thunder goes and takes things in a completely different direction. For one thing that I can go and say about Gate of Thunder is this game goes and has a good soundtrack. But if you're familiar with Lords of Thunder, that one is just an incredible game, both for its soundtrack and a lot of what it goes and brings to shoot-'em-ups as well. It's definitely one that I'll be looking at in the future. So our second boss here goes and has some rather fun patterns. He's got these options that go and circle around him, defending his core when it goes and pops out. But fortunately, we have a penetrating laser, so that doesn't do him a whole lot of good. Stage 2, clear. Next stage, mine. And yet some more beautiful parallax scrolling in the background. I'm not 100% sure how we went and got from a city planet to an asteroid belt back to a mine. For going and trying to defend a planet from an evil dictator, it seems like we're taking an odd path from it, but oh well. Shoot 'em up stories, am I right? Anyway, that'll just about go and wrap up my look at Gate of Thunder. Truly an awesome classic for the PC Engine, Super CD, TurboGrafx-16 CD, Turbo Duo, however you go and like to refer to the system of the time. So once again, as I was noting earlier, if you're into classic shoot-'em-ups, this is definitely one that, if you haven't gone and played it before and given it a try, I'd recommend going and finding some way to, you know, fire it up, give it a play. It's definitely worth your time. So I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining me today for Shoot 'em Up Saturday. And as always, I hope to go and see you again next week.